Hello, friends. Hey, it's Pastor Scott from Terrace Park. Tomorrow night we have another Rise service, and we've been doing these preview videos before each Rise service. And this one, unlike the other two, which were supposed to be humorous, is perhaps maybe a little bit more serious. The videos, in whether they're funny or whether they're serious, are trying to show you who we are, what our heart is about, what we believe in, and also just that we are real people. And you know, what we are trying to express is that there is a joy in following Jesus. That there is this inner strength, this spiritual inner strength, that when we follow Jesus, that flows out of us and affects people around us. You know, Jeanette and I struggled earlier in our lives with the process of following Jesus. We believed in God, we believed in many things, but it was not always easy for us to follow Jesus. And, you know, what we are trying to do in the Rise ministry is recognize that and say, how can we help others find that inner strength that Jesus is trying to provide to us? You see, when we were transformed by what he did, what he removed was this shame and this fear and this guilt. And he replaced it with this worthiness, this statement that you are valuable. And from that, we received this strength, this ability to go forward in a different way in our lives. You see, the strength that I'm talking about defeats hate, defeats selfishness, defeats that very thing on the inside of us that seems to weaken us, to cause us to trip up even when we don't want to. So the strength defeats hate, and the strength defeats selfishness. And the strength defeats that thing on the inside of us that seems to always trip us up, even when we want to do good. You see, when God gives us this strength, it no longer allows sin to run roughshod over our lives. No longer allows sin to steal, kill, and destroy our hopes and our dreams and our joy and our very lives. It no longer allows marriage to be destroyed. It no longer allows our relationships to be destroyed, because we have this strength because God has said we are valuable. And he sent his Son so that we could be worthy and that we could have this strength because we are now connected to him. You see, when God says that you are valuable, you are valuable. I think it's important to understand that. I think if you understand the heart of this ministry, if you understand what we are truly trying to do, what we are saying is we recognize that there are times in our lives when we do not recognize our own value, that we have allowed the world to say, this is what makes you valuable. Maybe it's because, you know, the world may say, well, it's because how smart you are, how successful you are, how much money you've earned, how beautiful you are. But all those evaluations are fool's gold. You see, God has said, you are valuable. And he wants you to see that you are valuable. And he no longer requires you to accept what the world has said that makes you valuable. And perhaps no longer allows you to accept your greatest critic, yourself. You see, the Rise service is saying, even though we may sometimes say we're not good enough, that God has said we're good enough. He thought we were good enough that he sent his Son down to this earth to be a communicator, but also to die so that we could be reconnected with God. The Rise service, this Rise ministry, is here so that you can start to find what God wants in your life. Find that joy and that hope and that peace and that love that He wants to give you. And I can't give that to you, but I can walk alongside of you and point out where God is trying to speak that into your life, where God is trying to speak value into you. I hope that you utilize this Rise service for what it is meant to be, and that is to strengthen you, to make you a stronger Christian, to perhaps, in some cases, to let you explore what it means to be a Christian, to be a follower of Jesus Christ, to find that hope and joy and peace for the very first time, to experience His love in a new way. I hope that you are willing to walk with us and hear God's voice in all that we try to do. Again, the service is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We'd be really excited if you came out. All are welcome. God bless.